Okay, so there is nothing worse, right? You've got a washer packed with clothes, you hit the start button, and you get nothing. Just a blinking, confusing error code. If that's you right now, hey, take a deep breath, you've come to the right place, and we are going to figure this out together.
Yep, that's the one. The F1 or E1 error code. If your washer is flashing that at you and just sitting there stubbornly, you are in exactly the right spot. This is probably one of the most common errors out there, and I promise, in the next few minutes, we're going to walk through how to nail down the problem and get it fixed.
All right, so let's get right to it. What does that error code actually mean? It's not random, it's a very specific SOS signal from your washer's brain, the main control board. And it's telling you it has a communication problem. It can't hear from the lid lock assembly. Basically, the washer has no idea if the lid is safely shut, so it's programmed to just stop. Safety first, right?
Now, this communication breakdown really just boils down to one of three things. First, the simplest one. The lock itself is busted and it's not physically locking. Second, it might be locking, but the little electronic switch inside is dead, so the control board is completely blind to it. And third, maybe the lock and the board are fine, but the wire that connects them has been damaged. We're going to check for all three.
Okay, before you even think about grabbing a screwdriver, let's start with the really simple stuff. Seriously, these are the quick checks that could have you back in business in just a couple of minutes.
First up, the all-time classic tech support solution, just unplug it. Pull that washer's plug right out of the wall, go grab a drink, and wait about 2-3 minutes. This forces a hard reset of the control board and can sometimes clear a simple glitch. If that doesn't work, try this. Just open and close the lid firmly a few times. Really listen for a solid click sound. And last, just give the lock mechanism a quick look. Is there gunk, lint, or maybe the corner of a shirt stuck in there keeping it from closing all the way?
All right, if those easy fixes didn't do the trick, don't sweat it. It just means we need to get our hands a little dirty and actually look at the part itself. But this brings us to the single most important rule of this whole process.
And I really can't say this loudly enough. Unplug the washer. We're about to go near electrical parts, and your safety is way more important than dirty laundry. So no shortcuts here. Unplug it from the wall.
Okay, once it's unplugged and you've gotten access to that lid lock assembly, it's time to play detective. Use your eyes and your nose. Are there any obvious black scorch marks? Do you smell that nasty burnt plastic smell? That's a dead giveaway. Look for any cracked or busted pieces of plastic. And then, carefully unplug the little wire harness and look at the metal pins inside. Are they shiny and straight, or are they all green with corrosion or bent out of shape?
So what if you look at it and everything seems fine? No obvious damage? Well, this is where we stop guessing and start knowing for sure. It's time to break out a multimeter and get a definitive answer.
This test right here. This is the whole ballgame. It will prove with almost total certainty whether the switch inside that lock assembly is actually working. This is what separates a successful DIY repair from just randomly buying parts you don't need.
Okay, the concept here is actually super simple. Think of the switch like a drawbridge. When your washer lid is open, the drawbridge is up. Electricity can't cross. Your meter will read OL, which just means open line. But when the lid locks, the drawbridge comes down, creating a complete path. Your meter will then show continuity or a very low resistance reading. We're just going to check if your drawbridge can still go up and down.
So here's exactly what you do. Set your meter to the ohms symbol. Now, with the lock just sitting there in its normal, unlocked state, touch your probes to the two terminals, usually a white one and a gray or blue one. The meter should say OL. Now here's the key part. Keep the probes right there, but use a little screwdriver to slide the locking mechanism over as if it were locking. As soon as you do that, the reading on your meter should instantly change from OL to a low number close to 0.
And that's the moment of truth. If you slide that lever to the locked position and your meter doesn't change, if it just stays on OL, then congratulations. You have just proven, without a doubt, that the switch inside is broken. The part is bad. It needs to be replaced.
So you've done the test. You've confirmed the part is bad. And guess what? I've got fantastic news for you. You have just found the single most common cause of this error, and the fix is super straightforward.
How common are we talking? Over 80% of the time. Think about that. The odds are massively in your favor that the problem you found is the problem.
And that's not just a hunch. Technicians and repair data all say the same thing. For the vast majority of F1 and E1 errors, the fix is as simple as replacing that little lid lock assembly you just tested. You already did the hard part, which was the diagnosis.
Now, to order the part, you're going to need your washer's model number. Look for a sticker inside the lid area or sometimes on the back. Once you have that number, just type it into a search engine to find the exact part you need. You'll see some common part numbers on the screen here, but always confirm with your specific model number to get the right one.
But what if you're in that other, less common 20%? What if you replace the lid lock, put everything back together, and that dang error code pops right back up? It's rare, but there are a couple of other possibilities.
So, if a brand new lock doesn't fix it, your next job is to carefully trace the wires from the lock all the way back to the main control board. Look for any spot where a wire might have gotten pinched, cut, or rubbed raw. If the wiring looks perfect, well, the fault might be with the control board itself, which is a bigger job. And on a few models, there's a little thermal fuse that can blow and cause the same error. But always rule out the lock and the wiring first.
So here's the bottom line. That F1 or E1 error code that was so frustrating, it's almost always a problem you can solve yourself. By following these steps, you went from being stuck to being a confident diagnostician. Just never, ever forget to put safety first and unplug that machine before you open it up. You totally got this. So the only thing left to figure out is, what's the first load of laundry you're going to do?